Hello everyone! It has been too long, mainly because I feel there's no need to put stuff on here when most of my audience I talk to directly anyway. But I thought, fuck it! I'm going to upload something here because I can, yeah! So join me, friends and strangers, and possibly newcomers. Strange place to start, but come on down! We're all friends here. Just keep it above the waist, okay? I don't swing that way! Ooh, weird start. We'll go with it. Yeah. So, couple of little announcements. I have a new video coming on soon. Ooh, in glorious 480p. That's right. Because I couldn't get my 1080p camera or my 4K phone to record sound properly. It only wanted to pick up the guy behind the camera, not any of the sound effects from in front of the camera. So it was weird. Yeah, because the voices were supposed to be the things in front of the camera. But if you're listening with headphones, it's like some guy's just talking in your head. Hey, I'm doing voices for the little toys because that's a thing that happens. It was crazy. So, that should be out by next Monday, April 16th. So, and if you've followed this channel for any amount of time, you may know what I'm referring to. But yes, and also, a little bit of bad news. My previous phone, which I recorded many different audio files on, just decided to completely crap out on me and take all of my audio files with it. Over a year's worth of little audio gems that I sent to people that I never really upload to YouTube because, again, they're usually directly in context to the conversation I'm having. I record them in the app and then forward them to the people whom I think it's appropriate to send to. But they were still funny. They were little time capsules of voice impressions and jokes. And I'd lost all of that, and it made me very sad. My friend tried to fix my phone, but even then he said, all it will do is fix the phone through deleting everything. And that's kind of missing the point. But if you're listening to this, friend of mine who tried to help, thank you anyway. I genuinely appreciate it, as you know. But the main reason I wanted to fix it is to get that stuff back. So that's gone. That's a shame. But there is a little silver lining, a little sliver of optimism. And that is the ones I did actually send to people. I can still download a very compressed Facebook version from the conversation using the Opera Mini browser. Ooh, yes! So that made me slightly happy. It sounds like I'm talking into a tin can, which is a bit unfortunate, but I may upload some of them to here, because even though they're out of context and rather out of date, there are some based on Christmas, for Pete's sake, and there's some life advice ones that don't really apply to everyone, but maybe it'll apply to one person. If you can reach one person and stop them from wanting to swing from the rope or backflip off of a skyscraper. Did it? Yeah. Not the backflipping off of the skyscraper thing. Not yet, anyway. I'm on a slight high right now, which is why I'm here. Yes! So, then maybe that'll be great. There you go. Because sometimes it's just what you need to hear. Ta-da! So yes. And as for nerdy things, I bought an Xbox One X, the most powerful video game console in existence, which really isn't saying much, because it's the current, latest console, so that's basically a given. Unless you're Nintendo and you're like, hey, we're using 10-year-old technology, buy our shit, and people do! It's madness. But then you can play Rocket League on the toilet now, so that's the thing. Although you could technically do that with a Vita using SharePlay on the PlayStation 4. Anyway, that's enough of that, he says, before remembering the reason why he brought that up in the first place. I went on a bit of a games binge recently, and finally got over 100,000 achievement points, which translates to some kind of e-penis, or some shit like that. I just wanted to play a bunch of games, because they've been piling up from being an Xbox Live Gold subscriber, where they give you access to 2 games every month. But I didn't have an Xbox One since I sold my previous one, the moment they announced that the Xbox One X was in the pipeline or down the pipeline. One of those two propositions, maybe both. So, maybe I'm down to have it in someone's pipeline. I don't know, the night is young. But point is, by the time I got the Xbox One X, it had been about a year and a half since I had an Xbox in my possession. So I had a whole back catalogue of quote-unquote free games to play, which basically means the moment your subscription runs out, you can't access them anymore. But still, it's fun. It's fun playing that for a while. And then afterwards, I'm like, if I never play a game ever again, it may be too soon. And then ended up playing something 2 days later. But regardless, this has been 5.5 minutes. Yeah. But that's what I'm up to. Ooh, look at that smooth transition there. You wouldn't have even known there was a cut there if I didn't just... Ow! I just elbowed myself in the foot. I should really retake this, but no. This is all going in. This is real, baby. This is real. But yes. So, I'm gonna go now, but I hope anyone listening to this is doing all right. Even if it's just fleeting moments of happiness, because sometimes you just need those to come along. Something to break up the mundane tedium of it all. You know, when you're stuck in a rut or a routine or some other bullshit, sometimes you just need that little nugget to break the chain of events. But yes, but also realize when those moments come along and just get everything you can out of them. Like a fly on shit, just suckle on the nutrients of that turd while you still can until it's all dry and flaky. If that's not the best analogy or allegory or one other word, I haven't been to school in a while. I'm not a little kid anymore. You forget most of that shit. I don't need to make an X disappear at the bottom of a Bunsen burner, science teacher. What was the point of that, Trigonometry, trigger go fuck yourself is more like it. And scene. But no, that's not the scene. That was a side story. So, point is, make the most of happiness while you still can. Because a lot of people think there's just something there, and they're going to find this one thing, and it's going to be happily ever after. Goddamn Disney propaganda. But no, it's not always like that. In fact, it's rarely like that. If you find that, and you're able to be happy on a consistent basis, fucking more power to you, Chief. I envy you. But for most people, or at least for me personally, I see happiness more like food. You could have the best meal you've ever had in your life, but you're still gonna be hungry again tomorrow. And that's like happiness. You could have the best experience of your life, but right afterwards, it's in the past. It's a memory. So, unless you can get something out of that memory or have a sustainable source of happiness, it's gotta be rough. So, there we go. Just go into life and live through life just with a realistic mindset. Don't think that things are gonna just be happily ever after till the end of time. Actually, make the most of things while you have them, and don't take them for granted, and that's all I have to say about that. And on that note, stay beautiful, people, okay? I know I say that like a throwaway catchphrase, but I mean it. It doesn't have to be external beauty, it could be internal beauty as well. Just be yourself, be true to who you are, whoever that is, hopefully a good person, and not someone who pulls the tails off of cats and feeds other animals to slightly larger animals to have some kinky chain of events. I know some of you are into that. I saw someone set a dog on fire once. I didn't actually see it, but I know of its existence. That's a thing that was on Facebook one time. It was a whole weird censorship thing. And the side thought I had there was, hey, if that stopped someone else who wanted to do that from doing that by them thinking, hey, I wonder what that looks like. If they can just Google dog on fire and see that dog already be set alight, maybe they're like, that's actually stopping me from doing that. Because I no longer I know what that's like now. I mean, that's a pretty surreal example, but surely someone thinks like that. It's like how I used to break all my toys as a kid just to see what was inside of them. I'd be like, how does that work? How is Sonic the Hedgehog on this little game cartridge? I was a weird kid. I thought that Sonic was in that cartridge, and I tried to break it open so he could be my best friend. It's a bit weird, but what you gonna do? I've grown up from that. I've realized it's all bits and bytes and fancy circuitry. But yes. So that's like, now you see all these tech channels where they open up phones on the day of release to show you what's in there. That saves my curious mind from doing stuff like that. There you go. So, for those sick fuckers out there who are into just murder or whatever like that, if they can get that out of their system, or like a fighting game, for example. People keep saying video games are the cause of violence, but I think it's the complete opposite. One of my favorite games since I was a little kid was called Streets of Rage 2. Since I was about 4 years old, I played that. And that entire game is you go along beating the shit out of everyone, stabbing them in the throat, throwing knives across, getting swords or steel pipes and just smacking them over the head with the most satisfying noises you've ever heard. Right up there with the old classic Tom and Jerry's. You feel that. And that, if you're coming home from a bad day of school, instead of smashing someone's face in or painting the nearest wall the shade of their face, a nice shade of bully red, you just play that game and punch a few virtual people and get it out of your system that way. I feel like I've missed my original point quite some time ago, but I'm gonna go now. So, I think the real takeaway from this is, please don't murder animals, he says, as a meat eater, so that's hypocritical right there. There was, I don't know what to say. Maybe don't murder the cute ones. But then I hear bunnies are delicious. I don't know. It's a whole grey area. You go to China, Chinatown, they got all the bunnies upside down. They kill whales for sport and food. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Maybe I shouldn't do these on a sugar high. Either way, bye to you. And look forward to that video. The secret one that's not a secret if you know my channel. Talk it. Bye. No homo.